Here, record. Okay, so this is being recorded, so we can share this with you all later, so you can rewatch. We have a Q&A feature. We are doing this via Zoom, so if you have any questions, you can send. We have Caitlin supporting us on the chat too, so from our team here at Teachable. So if you have any questions, she'll be here helping us answer. But we will also probably be answering it live. So keep sending your questions. We do have a specific moment for Q&A at the end. So we really want this to be a conversation. So let's keep all the questions coming. And stay tuned to the very end because we have a surprise.
Yes. Very exciting surprise that is going to help you drive more sales in December. So
yes,
we'll see what it is.
Yes. And who are we talking to you about all this? Oh, December, you can sell in December. No. I'm Danny. I'm from the product marketing team, and I'm here with my little helper, Santa helper.
Yeah, Santa's helper. My name is Yaz. I'm a customer success manager here at Teachable. So I work with some of our accounts, and I help them thrive. And we're here to help you today as well.
Perfect. But before we start, here we have our agenda, what we are covering today. We want to talk about a little bit about the behavior of buyers in December. We are going to talk about storylines that sell, narratives you can use in December and in January, in the beginning of the year. We are going to show you some low-lift sales plays that you can launch this week because it does not require you to launch anything new. Just as a reminder, we have our Black Friday challenge still going on. We're going to talk to you a little bit about our next webinars. We have our Q&A session and the reward that Yaz just mentioned.
Yes. And before we dive into the strategy, because we do have a lot of very exciting content for you today, I think we need to start with a quick warm-up game to get everyone thinking about buyer behavior at Teachable. So I have a few questions for you about Black Friday buyer behavior. What happened? What niches sold more? And I want you guys to interact with us on the chat and let us know what you think are the answers, okay? So let's go ahead. First question, Dani.
Okay.
How many student enrollments we had in November this year? Between 500K and 750K, between 750K and 1 million, or over 1 million. You can do A, B, or C on chat.
Yes,
yeah.
So it's easy.
Let me know what you think.
Let me know your guesses. So we have Caleb saying A, which would be between 500,000 and 750,000. Let me see. Oh, C from Michael.
Michael think it's
over 1 million as well for Alexander. So this is in compensated the day of the Black Friday. Let's see any more guesses. Joyce B, Cassie C.
Okay, what's the answer, Dani?
And the answer is, congratulations, Alexander. And who was Cassie?
Cassie
and Michael.
Wow, Furman, you just said it. We had over 1 million enrollments in November alone. So we're talking about a month with really, really, really strong momentum.
Yes. Oh, look at Caleb. Just kidding, Nancy. Yeah, Caleb, you would be right.
You would be right.
Okay, next question. What percentage of sales was made using coupons? 24%, 36%, or 52%? ABC,
what do you guys think?
Let us know.
52.
Let's see what else. 52. Caleb 2. 52. Everyone's going. Nice. Good question, Alexander. What do you mean by coupons? Buying with a discount? Yes. You can create different coupons at Teachable and offer a special discount. And you set this discount on a percentage. For example, let me give a 10% discount. So in order to do that, you need to create a coupon. And this was probably the most used strategy for Black Friday, right?
Yes. So let's see the answer. What is the answer? 36%. Most of you said 52. Coupons, they are highly used, but we also had another strategy that was really, really significant this Black Friday, and that was bundles. So that brings me to my second question. What percentage of sales was made using bundles during the month of November? I want to hear your thoughts.
68, 53, 32.
Let's see.
32.
32, exactly. So what's you can see that both bundles and coupons, they were great strategies. And if I were you, I would be writing that down, thinking about November of 2026 already. But now that brings me to what I feel is like the most important question. Which niche
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry.
had the then he was like, I think it's another question. No, that is the most important question right now. Which niche had the highest number of sales? I'm not talking about earnings. I'm talking about sales. What do you guys think? Finance, tech, health
We are
and
seeing
wellness?
finance and tech here on the
Lots of
reports.
tech. Okay. Okay. Well, what's the correct answer, Danny?
It's tech.
Tech.
So congrats,
Congratulations
Michael,
if you said
Caleb.
tech. Yes.
But number of sales is different than
earnings, right?
So which niche earned the most overall?
Yes.
So let us see your guesses. Again, finance, tech, health, and wellness.
Yes.
Let us know which one you guys think.
It could be the same. Maybe it's different. What if there's a different average order value?
We are seeing health and wellness, finance over here.
Finance, okay.
And for this one, Alexander, you're right. Because finance, we do see a higher average ticket. So when we look at the overall earnings, finance takes this position.
Exactly. So that was fun, but more importantly, now, Dunny,
now it's what I was thinking about.
Yes, it sets us up to the big question right now. Now that November is over,
do you have a strategy for December? Actually, we are already on December 8th.
Yes.
So 1 week of December already passed by. What are you doing? Let us know in the chat. What are you doing to sell in December? Are you doing any different strategies? Are you just doing your evergreen strategy? Are you not doing anything because you believe this is not a good month to sell? Just let us know here. What's your strategy? Because if you don't have one, we have some tips for you. But if you have one and you want to improve it, you want to optimize it, we also have strategies for you.
Okay.
What are you seeing here?
So Andres is saying that he's offering a discount or a coupon for the new year. That's great.
Excellent.
That's one of the things we'll be talking about today. Shane is not doing anything. Maybe by the end of this webinar, we'll convince you of doing something. And Michael, yes, finally, Michael is working on a new course so he can finally offer bundles. Yes,
nice, Michael.
And I have a strategy that I think that maybe might be right for you here.
Perfect.
Okay.
We talked about how a lot of people underestimate December, and they are not doing strategies because they don't believe that it's a good month to sell. But we have data that tell us otherwise.
Exactly. It's the exact opposite. If we look at 2024, we're going to see that more than half of the number of schools that made sales in November also made sales in December. And even more than that, 1 in every 7 creators earned more in December than in November. And catch that. The last one, that's my favorite. December delivered 96% of November sales counts. So why do I hear people telling me that December is a slow sales month? It makes no sense. The demand is there. Your buyers are there. They want to buy from you. The creators who are selling, they are selling to someone. The only people who don't want to sell on December, who want to stop on December, you creators. So I'm sure a lot of you are here and you're saying, oh, December is a slow month for me. I already sold a lot on Black Friday. It makes no sense for me to sell right now. But that's not what we're seeing. And even when we look at Teachable's top 50 creators, we see that the top niches, they stay consistent in both November and December. So that means that buyer demand does not drop. It stays stable. And of course, I'm showing you our ranking in niches for November and December because I cannot bring you the exact numbers of sales and earnings. But I can tell you, you'll see little variation between November and December. So there is a sales opportunity. December is absolutely a sales month. You just need to think about what makes sense for you during this month, because what we want to tell you here today is that there's a narrative shift that can help you make those sales. Right, Danny?
Exactly. You can see, for example, the difference here because We have in November health and wellness on the third place. But you see in one of the narratives that we are bringing that a lot of customers, they are thinking about how they can improve themselves, who they want to be in January. So that's why we see health and wellness, for example, climbing up on December, because people are getting ready for the next year in December. So how can you capture these wishes from your buyers, what they are aiming, what personal goals they have? How can you fit your strategy into these narratives? So we brought a couple of strategies here. We are going to work with two levers. So one is the narrative opportunities. What is the mindset for December? How can you tap into that? And another approach that we're going to have is low lift structures, quick, effective plays that you can implement right now, right after we finish this.
Yes. And if I could ask you one thing is just grab a paper, grab a pen, and just start writing things down, because we're going to give you very practical examples. And I want this to be a practical session. What's stopping you from selling in December is implementing in a very intentional way a structure as low lift as it can be. So I really want you to leave this session today having exactly what you're going to do by the end of the week in mind. You're going to see that we have examples that are very simple to implement, but at the end of the day, you have to go there and implement them. So we're counting on you to do this.
Perfect. So let's go to our first lever, which is the narrative opportunities. When we look at what are the buyer intentions for December, one of the common things that we find is that they are, if you sell for companies, for example, you know that people are eager to use learning stipends that they have for the year. They have sometimes the educational budget that they need to spend this year. Not only the students, but the company itself needs to spend their budget. So this is something that for those of you who are selling to organizations, for companies, you notice this happening during this time of the year. People are also looking for meaningful clutter-free gifts. So they want to gift someone, let's say, I think Alexander is from finance.
Yes, I think so.
Tell us your niches again so we can use you guys as an example.
Yes.
Sorry, Alexander, if I'm wrong, but I don't know. I got in mind that you were for finance. Correct me if I'm wrong.
English teaching. Sorry.
English teaching. Okay, yeah. But let me use him as an example.
Yes.
Let's suppose that I have a friend who wants to start working on a foreign company.
Yes.
And this friend needs to learn English, and I want to help her in the beginning of the year to achieve that goal.
Exactly.
So this is a gift that I can give to this person. They're also planning who they want to be in January. What are their goals? I want to get more fit. I want to take better care of my health. I want to take better care of my financial situation.
I want to learn a new language in 2026.
Same. So who's selling Italian courses? Drop here. I
might buy from you.
Yeah. Wrapping up loose ends before the new year. I have a lot of courses that I bought and I never finished, but I would love to finish them by the end of this year, so I don't have to start the next year with stuff already piling up.
Exactly.
And people are actively looking for post Black Friday deals. I know a lot of you see this all the time. Oh, last opportunity. Things that were not sold on Black Friday, but creators and e-commerce in general, they are just doing discounts to sell what was not sold in Black Friday. So this is something very common that buyers are looking for more and more over the years. And so this is our insight for you guys. This way, when you look at this narratives as example, of course, there are much more narratives that can work, but these ones are ones that work for most of the niches. You're not forcing a momentum. You're not forcing people to buy something that they don't need, but you're actually matching the narrative or the wishes that the buyers are already in that moment.
Exactly. So think about this with your niche. So for example, I saw that Dan talked here. Dan teaches pilots, and he was talking a little bit about cannibalization, and he's reluctant to do more discounts. But what narrative would resonate with someone who wants to take one of your courses and is starting a new year? Does the year-end budget narrative works with them? Does the learn a new pilot skill and 2020 2026 works with them. I just encourage everyone, remember, you're supposed to have a pen and paper, so I encourage everyone to sort of like brainstorm what are the narratives that would work with my audience.
And not only you can brainstorm that by the top of your mind because you know your persona really well, but you can ask them. You can ask
Yeah.
your existing students what they're aiming for the next year, for this end of the year. So you can understand an opportunity to attract new customers that might have the same issue that your current students have.
Exactly.
So let's deep dive a bit into each one of these strategies. Let me close this because I have something on my screen. Okay. So the first one is the use it or lose it. This one is focused on those who are selling to companies or selling, for example, an Excel course. It's very common that people who work for a company, they need to learn Excel and they use an education budget for that. So if this is your situation, this is a very nice tip for you. A lot of companies, they need to spend until December 31st, otherwise they will lose this budget. So this is a very good narrative you can jump in. So why this works? It's many employees, they have funds that they need to use. There is a lower price resistance, but at the same time, they can ask for a refund. So that's something that's you can help them achieve this refund with the companies. Faster internal approves this time of the year. The companies have usually less bureaucracy for that. And they really want to make the most out of the budget. They want to feel like they accomplished something within the company. So it's a very good moment of the year to tap into this narrative. And here are some suggestions of positioning angles you can use. You can talk about budget optimization. You can talk about how they need to be feature readiness, how this skill will get them prepared for a promotion to start next year aiming a salary raise because they learned something new. And you can also bring some employer friendly framing, highlighting how it's easy for them to ask for a refund because you can help them tell the company that they are doing your course. You provide a certificate within your teachable course. Exactly. So it's easier to justify this stipend. And here's a tip on how you can use Teachable to leverage that. Let me know if you in the chat if you already know and if you already use our banner. Within your student dashboard, there is a banner. This one you're seeing on top. I think you can see yes, you can.
Yes.
And in here, you can advertise pretty much anything you want. It can be a new product, a new offer you're doing. We saw someone on the chat saying that they're doing a coupon, like a discount for a new year coupon. This is something you can advertise in here or on the links on the side. So, for example, if you are selling to companies and you need to remind your students that they need to spend that budget, you can use this banner for this. We have an example here. Use your remaining learning budget before December 31st. And you can link to that. You can even create a coupon for that to make it easier for them.
Exactly.
The second narrative that we have is the gift that lasts. So Yas here wants to do Italian course.
Yes,
is that it?
I want to learn Italian.
Okay, so if I find an Italian course, and we have a lot here at Teachable, languages is a very big niche in here, I can gift it to her because I'm a good friend, such a good
exactly,
friend. Yes.
Exactly.
So digital gifts, they have this last minute sense of thing when you don't have an idea, but you know that someone has a goal and you can help them achieve that. Exactly. So you can gift them a digital course.
And December, it's what we're saying, and I feel like this connects well with gifts as well. But people crave this sense of sort of like closure in December. So it's the perfect gift where you're like, okay, you wanted to learn Italian, so here's an Italian course on Teachable for you to learn Italian on 2026. And of course, and I've seen this, I almost added it here, but I saw it briefly and I was reading about this. Buyers, they want gifts that will be helpful to them in a way. So not just adding clutter, not another water bottle, but something that's going to actually make a meaningful impact in my life. And people are shifting more towards these kinds of gifts, and that's something that we should be more considerate of also when we're buying gifts. So again, maybe you haven't thought about this before. Maybe you're like, why I'm incentivizing people to gift my product. But try this narrative, and you're going to see that it could have a huge impact in your December
Exactly.
sales.
Here are some position goals you can use. Clutter free, zero stress gift. Like Yas was telling, it has a meaning. It's not something that will just like another 100 water bottles.
I have lots of those.
Yes. So it's something that has a meaning and it's very thoughtful. So, and when you do this via Teachable, it's also very easy. If you enable this send as a gift option on your checkout settings, you can see here settings, general website, checkout settings. You can enable this option. And this is a screenshot from a checkout at Teachable, for example.
Exactly.
I can buy the Italian course for Yas, and I can choose to send this as a gift. So I'll just add her name, her email, and I can even put a message.
Exactly.
To engage her, to make her feel motivated.
So the setup is there for you. Maybe all you need to do is reinforce to your buyers when they go to your sales page, for example, you're going to add this screenshot, so exactly what we're doing here, and say, did you know that you can gift my present? So that's a great idea for end of year, giving a present that is not going to clutter. So just framing this as an opportunity for your buyers.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's go to narrative 3.
My favorite.
Start the new year already ahead. So get prepared to start the new year. A lot of people already know what their goals are for next year. So you can start working that into your sales narrative. They start planning their early year priorities in December. Just like your buyers are planning, I hope you are planning your January, like your sales strategy for January.
Yes.
Too. Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Yes. It reduces the decision load in January. People usually need to deal with a lot of different things, from kids' school, cars payments that they need to do in the beginning of the year. And it's good to help them have their life set right now in December. So a course gives them a ready structure to start the new year. And early enrollment creates a sense of being prepared. Like, oh, I'm already compromising with this course, learning Italian.
Exactly.
So here are a couple of positioning angles too. You see that there's a lot of text here to help you guys understand and give you some ideas. So we're going to give you, we are putting all of this into a blog post. We're going to send you the recording so you have all this content. But basically, a couple of suggestions that we are giving for angles is reduce January decision making, fit into existing planning, provide a ready-to-use structure. And how can you do this at Teachable? We really suggest you use the drip functionality within your course. What does it mean is that you set a date for when that content will be released. For example, here we have January 1st. So you can start selling now and just release the content on January 1st so people can start consuming that. You can do this basically in any modules of your course. So if you want to do for one specific module that will get them more prepared for success, you can do that, or for your whole course too.
Exactly. And for a fourth narrative, this is also something that I really like, because December is that cleanup period. So like, you're organizing your house, you're organizing your life, and many people, they want to finish what they started. So that's also one of the things that you can do. You can say, hey, you've been waiting all year to start learning a language, and you bought my course and you didn't finish it. So hey, let's wrap it up. Let's do something about this. Right,
exactly.
Dani?
So these are a couple angles you can use. It's a simple year-end win. So they feel like they are ending the year accomplishing something. It's a chance to catch up without pressure. Usually this time of the year, a lot of people are getting some vacation days, a little bit more free time that they could use to finish your course. And they're also going to enter January with a clean slate because they're already preparing for that. They finish it, all they had to do. And here's another tip of how you can do that on Teachable. We are bringing the banner again. I saw that Greg asked about how to set it up, and Caitlin helped him here. You can set up a banner, you can see here, only for your students or for anyone seeing your product catalog. So you can do a specific banner for your students only, reminding them to finish your course. And you can even offer a bonus. For example, if you finish your course before December 31st, I'll give you an extra template or early access or trial access to my future course. You can start tapping them into future stuff that you're going to build as well.
Yeah, this is very important because this is not the main point of the webinar, but just so you know, the data always also shows us that people who are more engaged, people who complete your courses, they are most likely to purchase from you again.
Yes.
So as we look into getting the most of our buyers' lifetime value, and you know, you've probably been doing this for a while, you know how hard it is to get people to buy from you. Uh, the best thing that we can do is to make the people who've bought from us buy again. And the easier and fastest way to do that is making them complete or their courses.
Exactly. So let's go to the narrative number 5 before we deep dive into specific strategies.
Yes.
And this one is one that we mentioned is the post Black Friday momentum. A lot of people are expecting to see less deals of the year, or sales from Black Friday that didn't go so well. Usually creators do another round with a smaller discount that they were offering during Black Friday and for a limited amount of time. So this is an opportunity because buyers are looking for that. Some of them know that consciously. Some creators decide to do another offer right after Black Friday, and maybe they spent a lot of money during Black Friday with other priorities, but now in December they can invest in your course. So it's a very nice narrative that you can test to repurpose or resurface a Black Friday sales, a Black Friday offer with a different discount. So you can position this as a second chance to buy. You can use this as a lighter, low effort offer. You already have the Black Friday offer. You just create a coupon, a discount based on the offer you already have for Black Friday. And this is also like the final window of the year. It's the final deal. They won't have another chance to get this price. And we know that's very common. We're going to talk about this on our pricing webinar this Thursday. Usually the prices increase from year to year. So they're probably not going to get a deal like this one that you could do this year, next year, because you're reviewing all your expenses, and you probably will see that's a good opportunity to increase your prices. So it's also a good narrative to remind them that this is the final opportunity of the year.
Exactly. And back to one of our narratives, just before we talk about the teachable setup, Dan said that he just had a father buy a course for their son as we were talking out. So that's the spirit.
Perfect.
Dan. As we're talking about this, I'm sure lots of you are like, oh, this wouldn't make a difference. I don't have that many people interested in gifting my product. But have you ever intentionally talked about this? Have you emailed your audience to say, hey, Teachable has this feature, my checkout, my page has this feature that you can use to gift your friends. Do you know how this works? And then just walking them through it, walking them through the process, and then just putting it out there. So we need, when we're talking about these narratives, we need to be more intentional with the way we're going to put them out there into the world, right?
You know, something else you could do, I bet you have a lot of students and you know who your best students are. Those who are always engaging in comments, who are always giving you feedback, asking for more content. These people, I bet they would be great affiliates. Yeah. They would do great referrals. So we are talking about gifts, but we also have the angle of inviting your own students to invite their friends to do your course, and you can give them a special discount so they can suggest to their friends, or they can gift their friends. So take your best students, and they probably have other people in the same situation that might fit your persona, and they could advertise or gift their friends who fit into the same persona.
Exactly. And when we're talking about how to leverage Teachable for post Black Friday momentum, this is also something we're going to talk about when we talk strategy. But the easiest thing you can do right now is do a reopen of your Black Friday offer briefly for a shorter time than you did. Maybe it's not going to be because your offer had 2 or 3 bonuses and you're not going to give these bonuses right now, but just again, repeating the offer, adding a banner that's highlighting your offer, just things that are very low lift, but they will make a difference because they're putting this opportunity out there into the world.
Exactly. Okay, so let's talk about the structures. We went
Okay.
over narratives. So this is how you can frame some angles you can use on your messaging to help your customers understand that this is a good opportunity, that what you offer matches what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have a couple of suggestions of structures of plays that you can do to build your sales strategy for
Mm-hmm.
December.
And like I told you guys, pen and paper in hand. We talked about narrative, so figure out your narrative. And also, right now, we're going to talk about what you can realistically launch this week. We're not talking about creating a whole new course. We're not talking about a big campaign. We're talking about simple, low lift structures that consistently work in December. First, tail is out of time. Uh, a very, very, very simple downsell. So essentially, giving your warmest leads an entry point. This is the time of the year when a lot of creators will just go through their entire lead list and say, what is my entry point product, the simplest product I can offer them, that I'll just make sure they get into my product suite this year and they do not miss this opportunity. So maybe you're going to take the end of year angle and you're going to say, listen, you've been on my mailing list since March. You haven't bought from me, but here's your chance. You did not take advantage of my Black Friday offer, but here's your chance of taking advantage of this product that is maybe a lower ticket product, but it is my most bought product. And just again, putting it out there into the world. So, what you can do, and I have a few suggestions here because maybe you're going to tell me, oh, I only have one product. Oh, I don't have a downsell structure. You're going to take a module, a lesson, some kind of resource into a standalone lower ticket product. You're going to position it as a starter pathway product, and it's something that builds toward your main offer. So if you're on the tech niche and you have a whole complete product about AI, you're going to have just an introductory lesson on AI and you're going to have that offer ready. And you're going to aim it at the people who engaged but didn't convert. And here I'm suggesting Black Friday, but like I said, you can do it for the whole year. And Danny, what are the tactical moves you can do? You can run a very simple 3 email micro sequences saying, acknowledging them, saying, hey, we've been together for a while. You did not buy from me. So here's an easier way to begin. Then sending them a second email with social proof. Social proof is always very important. So send them emails of people who also started with you, who probably have the same concerns that they do right now as they're making the decision if they want to start with you, and the expected quick win. So this is an introductory AI product, and by the end of a week, you'll be doing this, this, and that. And then last, have a soft deadline. So, oh, this offer will run until December 25th, for example. So keep this extremely short. Downsells, they need to be to the point. So pain, solution, price, CTA. If you're using or product detail pages, PDP, they're perfect for that because you can just add some text that is going to talk about the product. You can have all of the sections and the lessons on the product, and having a simple CTA with the price.
If you want to something a little bit more sophisticated, you can change the image of your product for the product detail page to highlight how this is how did you call it, a startup pathway, but this is something very simple to get them started.
Exactly. And one thing that I added here, and it's not directly related to the downsell, but it's something that I see a lot of people forgetting. Always add a CTA upgrade inside the product. Yes. So always let people know what their next step is. And you'll be surprised. There are a lot of people who buy a product and then on the same day they'll buy a second product just because they browse through it, they see that it's amazing, and they're ready to buy the next step. So never forget that.
Yeah, perfect. It's almost face this strategy of downsell that we're talking about almost like a trial to your main courses. You're giving them a little taste of what they could get on your main course. And in order to do that, you can pull one lesson and turn that into a content. Use a lot of social proof, like we talked about, because they will see the reflection of someone with the same reality, same pain points, and that achieved a goal that you're promising them. So explore a lot of your existing students in order to bring new ones into this downsell.
And like Denny said, we're going to share this presentation, but something I forgot to mention, I added a copy angle for each one of them. For downsell, it would be, well, my full program wasn't the right fit. So here's an easier way to get started with me.
Perfect.
Strategy number 2, re-engage existing buyers. This is my favorite strategy because I feel like this is something that people are consistently overlooking. Like I said, it takes you a lot of time, a lot of effort to get people to buy from you. Why are you not investing in making them buy from you again? So here's the copy angle. You're going to get all of the people who only bought from you once. You're going to take all of your buyer list from 2024, and you're going to see everyone who bought just one product from you on 2024. People who have never bought from you before. They got into your product suite this year, but they did not take the next step. These are people you should be investing on, because either one, they're ready to take the next step, but you're not offering the next step to them, or two, they are not taking the next step because they had some restrictions on your product, and they have some feedback that could help you improve. So you need to double down on these people. So what you're going to do, you're going to identify these buyers. You're going to map the logical continuation of what they've already learned or implemented. So let's say I have um, 50 buyers who bought product A, so now they need to buy product B, and I have 100 buyers who've bought product A and B, so now they need to buy product C. You're going to map this, and you're going to make the offer and frame it as a progression, not as a sale, as a very obvious next step.
Like a step of the way on their journey.
Exactly. So send them a next step email sequence. So, oh, I saw that you joined my introductory English product earlier this year. How's it going? If you're ready, here's the intermediate course. And also, one thing that I really like to do when we do those like sales efforts for existing buyers, include a tiny loyalty perk to thank them for sticking with you. So maybe it's a bonus lesson, maybe it's a worksheet, maybe it's additional
even a special discount for being your student for so long.
Maybe a 10% discount. Maybe it's extended access to the product. So normally your product, it's 1 year access if I'm buying it straight away, but for them it will be 2 years access. So there's ways to differentiate and aggregate value that do not directly relate to a discount.
Yes.
So always try to think of that when you're re-engaging your buyers. But honestly, and I always tell people this, if I could pick one strategy, it would be, how do you re-engage the people who have already bought from you? You'll see this is a gold mine.
Yeah, and if you look back into some of the webinars we did this year, we had one specific for this.
Yes.
You can find these on our YouTube, but we can link on the recap of this one. So let's do that to make it easier.
Exactly.
And we have a bunch of tips on how you can sell to already existing students.
Exactly. Okay, so let's talk about, Dunny mentioned this as well as a narrative, but to me, this is one of the simplest and highest impact December plays, which is a flash reopen of your Black Friday sale. So you're going to say, well, a lot of you asked if this was coming back, so here's a short second chance. I'll reopen this for only 48 hours, for only a week. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to literally reopen your Black Friday offer. You don't need to re-explain the offer. Assume people already know it. It's going to be literally, you asked for it, here it is. So let's see if you have DMs that people sent you saying, oh, I missed the chance, I missed the opportunity. You're going to share that. You're going to have social proof on the demand for the reopen, in a sense. And what you can do, this being very tactical, is you're going to send them a to email sequence saying, oh, listen, this is back for only 48 hours. And then after 24 hours, you're going to say there's 24 hours left. There's literally all you're going to do. And again, keep Keep the discounts identical to the Black Friday offer. Simplify them, like I said. So maybe you had 4 additional bonus. You're not going to have bonus this time. You're just going to have the main offer, the main discount. Caleb
I
said,
love this, Gavin.
"The sales tactic is what got me to subscribe to Teachable. So clearly it works." Yes, that's exactly it. This is as simple as it can get, and it's really, really, really helpful.
Exactly. Let's go to our last strategy.
My last strategy. This is also a strategy that I really, really, really love.
You love all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but this is what I really like. So sell now and deliver in January. So the angle here is maybe, and that's Michael, I'm looking at you because you said you're finishing your product. So maybe you don't have a finished product yet, but you're already doing a pre-sale of your product. So there are actually 2 angles that you can use here. Maybe you're doing a pre-sale of a new product. You're saying, oh, there's a product coming up and the classes are starting in January. Maybe when you looked at these narratives, you saw that, well, maybe I'm in the health and wellness niche and there's a demand for a New Year reset product. Maybe that's the product you're going to sell, and you're going to have live 4 live weekly sessions all over January. So you sell it now and you deliver it in January. So it can be that angle, but it can also be the angle of having your downsell be something that's only going to be deliverable in January. So then again, I talked about the 4 sessions. It could be just a small workshop. Maybe you're a yoga teacher and you're going to have a very throughout yoga webinar in January and you're selling it now. So again, create a workshop around a clear transformation, or I would add or here. Think about a new product that you can deliver live and sell it in December. Deliver it live during January, and there you go. Keep this quote tight, simple, one outcome, one session. Maybe if you want to turn it into a product, you're going to have four sessions, but just keep it very simple and focus on the action.
And what not tie it all that we were just talking about, because you can do this as a strategy to re-engage existing buyers. So you could add this as an upgrade in your product, a banner for your existing students, and you can set the trip that we were talking about. So the content we will only be released in January. So you can either do it live or you can have a pre-recorded content that is going to be released in January.
Exactly.
Oops,
and
sorry.
Yes, but the tacticals, I did talk about the tacticals. So create this product, add a pre-sale price, say that it's only valid in December because it's going to be delivered in January, right? And then maybe you want to bundle something to add perceived value, like I talked about on the last strategy, and you will promote it as a product that's going to be a kickoff for 2026. So there you go. It works perfectly with most of the narratives. Perfect. And the thing that I wanted to do, I'm going to walk through them rather quickly because we're running out of time. But I wanted to give you a few examples, especially about the top niches that are always top of mind on November and December. So we're going to talk about a narrative and a strategy for each of them. But then again, remember, this was an exercise. So pen and paper, and just you can mix and match narratives and strategies and just figure out what works best for your buyers.
Let's go to finance, the first one.
Mm-hmm. So one narrative that you can apply right now, you can say, start 2026 already ahead with smarter financial decisions, and your strategy is going to be a downsell. So they did not want you throughout programs, finance trainings, finance investment recommendations.
But maybe because they are struggling with their finances and they need something cheap.
Yeah, so it's okay. Well, 2026 is starting. So here's your 5 steps. And money reset. Maybe it's not a course, maybe it's a downloadable, but just making it sure it's a very first step for them. And you'd be surprised at how much money people make off of downsells. Yes. Health and wellness. It's like I said, it's the perfect narrative for me because people want to start the year healthier. They want to lose weight. So don't wait for January. Your reset starts here. And then what do people do? They downsell again. So you're going to use something like, oh, this is a 10-day habit kickstart. that we're starting all together, and then you can use the drip feature on Teachable. We're all starting together on the first day of January.
And you know what? If you do that, you could also add a link to our student dashboard to a group, like a community, where everyone who is part of this challenge, this 10-day habit kickstart, they are sharing their progress so they keep motivated.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then we have tech skills. Do you want me to talk? Because you're drinking some water.
No,
there.
I'm drinking water now.
Yes.
I'm like, my throat.
Yes. So the narrative, the angle you guys can use from tech is how you can use your year-end learning budget before it expires. A lot of tech company invest heavily on the program, the training program of their employees. And you can do for that a flash reopen, a 48-hour Black Friday extension focused on building a skill for 2026. So they enter 2026 learning a new skill, maybe having the chance of having a promotion and using their budget, their education budget for that.
Yes. For business and careers, it connects very well to tech skills, but you can just say, here's a strategic step that puts you ahead of Q1 opportunities. So while everyone is thinking about the holidays and gifts, you're thinking about your future, you're thinking about your career. And then your strategy would be re-engaging buyers. So you're saying, oh, you mastered my intermediate Microsoft Excel course. So here's the advanced Microsoft Excel course so that you can start 2026 stronger.
Perfect.
And then for languages, I personally love languages because I have so many of my creators, they teach languages. But a perfect narrative is, don't wait until next year to start learning a new language. But what you can do here, and I used a different example. Don't wait the next year to start learning the language of your 2026 trip. And then what you can do a sell now, deliver in January. Because, for example, maybe you don't have a downsell ready that is a product that's focused on traveling. Maybe you only have beginner English, intermediate English, advanced English. So you're going to have a live session about English for traveling, and you're going to deliver that live in January.
It gives you time to prepare the content.
And to survey the people who bought from you to see what they want. And that always makes for a better product. So these are our very simple, practical suggestions. We could go on and on about this, but you get the picture here. I want you to do that with your niche. I want you to mix and match narrative and strategies and think of what you can do by the end of this week.
But you know what?
I love this.
If you do all of this and you build the perfect strategy, matching the perfect narrative, but no one knows that exists,
it doesn't
that's
matter.
pointless.
Exactly.
We stalked a lot of a lot of creators during Black Friday, and we noticed that a lot of creators were not advertising the offer that they were doing. They had coupons, they had a specific bundle, but the activation was so timid that we could barely find, or it was not creating an anticipation. So that's something that we would love you to be thinking about, is how you can get this special end of year, beginning of year offer that you are planning with us right now in front of your existing customers or of your leads. They need to know that you're planning something special, that you're delivering special content for them. So put that out there. They need to see it.
So Rita just asked this. She said, I don't understand where you are supposed to give these messages. Where is your audience? Where are the people who buy from you? Where are they online? Are they watching your YouTube channel? Are they watching your Instagram? Where would they hear from you? How would they first hear from you? And then, of course, you're going to literally advertise your offer. And then again, this is something that sounds so simple, but we need to be very intentional. And I would ask you to apply this narrative. You can jump to the next one. But I would tell you to apply this narrative very consistently across your channels, because that's also something that people tend not to do. So if you have a big narrative, like the big idea of your offer, and it's going to be start 2026 learning, mastering Microsoft Excel, because you're already a good intermediate user. Now I want you to be advanced. Then make sure this message comes across in all of your channels. You can record a short video about this. You can, of course, do emails about this, but also be very intentional. Use Teachable's dashboard links. Talk about it on your Instagram. Talk about it on your YouTube. Just talk about your offer, and you're going to see that that's going to make a huge impact
and
on your sales.
this is really important to talk about your offer on the channels where your customers are. Sometimes we get feedback from creators, oh, but I shared this on this and that group. And when we look at the group, it's a family group, friends group, that they are not exactly your persona. So where does your customer know about you? Do they know you because you have a very nice Instagram page? So talk about it there. If you have a blog post, talk about it there. If you have it all, just use all the channels you have to make them understand everything that you offer.
Exactly. And again, make sure your story is consistent.
Yes. Do you have a question from Michael?
We do. Michael asked, what is the optimal timeline for December's sale? Michael, I don't think there's an optimal timeline, but I would try to have it before Christmas.
Yeah, if you start to advertise on the week of Christmas, the chance of people seeing this is very low because they will be with family. They will be getting ready for a holiday trip. I don't know. So just get this out before the week of the end of year holidays of Christmas and New Year, so they have time to prepare themselves for that.
Exactly. What I always like to tell people, consistent visibility equals conversion. So never forget that, and make sure, always do this exercise where you open your YouTube channel and you're like, if people open my YouTube channel today, would they know that I'm running this very important end of year opportunity? And just work through.
We saw a very fun case during Black Friday that a creator, yes, he was from the music niche, and he does a lot of viral videos on Instagram. But every video that he was doing, there was a connection to his Black Friday offer. So in every video, and the description of it, he had his offer. He would mention it during the video. So everything that he was doing was connected to his Black Friday offer.
Exactly. Okay.
And if you need an extra incentive, don't forget, the Black Friday challenge is still on. Like Yas said in the beginning, it started on November 6th. And all your sales until the end of December, they're going to count to it. And as we showed you, those of you, for example, who are here on the last tier, who make more than 1.5 million in sales, will get a chance will come actually to Brazil, to Hotmart Fire. But we also have some teachable credits that you can get on your subscription. So we're trying to do to give you these incentives.
Yes.
So if you're not selling yet, there's still time. Don't feel disencouraged because we are already in December, but there is still time.
And of course, there's nothing to lose. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? You'll send out an email.
The worst thing, you come to Brazil as a gift?
No. You'll send out an email. You sell 10K, and then you'll get $50 in credit for your subscription.
Yeah,
that's a win-win. And of course, I highlight this because I always like to remember people, if you use the back office feature, Teachable's back office, all of your sales will get a 1.2 multiplier. So you have bigger chances of getting a bigger price.
And for Michael's question, this challenge,
no, Michael.
Yeah, only for Teachable Pay and the monthly payment gateway, Michael.
Yes, I'm sorry.
But let's chat, Michael. Why you're using an external one? We can chat about that. Okay, the year isn't done. We still have 3 more weeks, and we are not done either.
We're not.
We still have 2 more webinars coming up. I'm going to ask Caitlin to also share the link here with you. You're going to see, you probably received an email this morning talking about this next webinar, that it's all about your price strategy for 2026. And we also have the QR code in here.
Yes, because again, we're talking about December here, but I also want you to start thinking about January. So what's happening in January? What are some low lift strategies you can use to increase your revenue? So maybe you're going to increase your prices. Maybe you're going to work on your product suite and make sure you have a broader offering of products. You're going to have more lower tickets, mid tickets, higher tickets. So we want to help you think through this, because if you stop to think about this on January, you'll be
too late.
Exactly. Yes. And The other webinar that we have, it's a webinar. Then again, these webinars, we made them in a way that they connect with
They are
each other a
sequenced.
little bit. So I would highly recommend you watch all of them. But our third webinar, it's going to be, it's called the mentorship model, a smarter way to scale via high ticket. So we're going to talk about pricing. And then one of the things we're going to talk about is high ticket as well. So if you don't have a higher ticket offering, or if you have one, but you don't really know how to advertise it, we have a webinar for you with a guest creator, Victor. Victor has clients in over 20 countries, and he is a creator that he's selling double digits every year. And he's known for being a mentor of high tickets. So maybe that's the extra push you need to have your high ticket offer ready.
And this type of training he does is very expensive, but
Yes.
he's gonna do for us exclusively. So sign up. I'm sure you're gonna love this, and it's a sequence to the pricing webinar that we have on Thursday. So sign up to both of them.
Exactly. And we're also, like we said, we're going to send an email with the YouTube recording, with this presentation, and also with the links of the webinar. So we're waiting for you there.
I think we answered all the questions you guys were sending. Let me
so
check
too.
if we have anything.
Do you
Do we
have
have
extra
anything?
questions? We don't have questions on the Q&A. I'll take this opportunity, Dunny, if you want to go to the next slide. So I'll use this opportunity to share this QR code that will take you to the form where you can give us feedback. And if you answer our survey,
we are not choosing one. You just need to answer the survey.
You just need to answer the survey, and we're going to get you a report with all of your unique buyers from 2025. So you'll be able to do the strategy number 2 that I talked to you about. You'll have it ready. I'm going to send the name of the buyer, the email, the product they bought from you, because they only bought one product. And then you're going to split them into, different audiences based on what would be their next step. And you can just email them and advertise.
You can put into action the re-engaging strategy that we talked about. You can use one of the narratives, so you can really explore that. And in order to receive that, you just need to fill it out.
Yes.
Deborah, Caitlin just shared the link from the feedback form, like two messages before.
Caitlin, if you want to share it again.
Yes.
But we'll also share it on the email, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll send you the recap email, and we'll have that. So that's one of the things that consider it a Christmas gift, because we do want to help you make December a great month.
Yeah, and we would love your feedback to understand how we can keep improving these sessions. As you saw, this is the first of 3 webinars. So of course, we want to use any feedback you might have for this one to the next one in Thursday to make this one better. So just like you ask for feedback from your students, we are asking you for feedback to keep improving our content too.
Exactly. So
thank you all.
Thank you so much for being here with us.
I hope it was productive, that you can put it all into action, that you can keep improving your strategy. So just look out for more emails from us with the recap, with the recording, and we are building also a blog post with highlights to make it easy for you to find whatever you need to rewatch.
Yeah. And then it's writing in Portuguese. So then it's ready for Brazil. God. And then if you sell a Portuguese course, put it on the chat, because
Dan is ready to buy that.
Yes.
And maybe he's ready to come back to fire.
Yes. We'll see, Dan. We're waiting. We're waiting. We'll see you next year.
Thank you all. See you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.